Hey guys, what's going on? Alpha here. This is Alpha Psych Ward. Bringing you a video I've never done before. I guess you could call this a hype video or an informational video. I don't know what you would call it, but this is basically just to inform you guys, my regular viewers, that I am going to be purchasing Conan Exiles. It's a Steam game. It is $30 on release. It's early access. I believe it's going to be released 13 hours from the recording of this video. You can check it out on Steam. What I'm going to do, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play a couple videos that are under the Steam page. You could go ahead and check them out all for yourself, but we're going to go ahead and go through those just in case you don't know, you've never seen Conan Exiles or whatnot. Basically, it's an open world survival game with some very unique aspects to it, and I don't know if you know, but I'm a big fan of survival games. I played H1Z1, I played Ark, I played Rust. Couple others, I don't even remember what they are, but I love survival games, I love building games, and yeah, let's just get into this video. We'll watch the video and then I'll probably go through it after. I might pause it as we go and kind of give my 2 cents on it, but I guess the whole point of this video is this game is going to be way better in a group, so I'd really like to know, if you check out this video, if you plan to play, let me know, because I'd like to play with other people right off the bat. That's going to be such a huge advantage, and they're going to have clans and whatnot in there, so let me know what you guys think and let me know your opinion. Like I said, I believe it's $30 when it releases through Steam, so there is a bit of an investment. But yeah, let's get into it.
Conan Exiles is an open-world survival game set in the universe of Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian.
Your first moments in Conan Exile are gonna be pretty rough.
Cut down from a cross, left in the sand to die. You need to find yourself water.
Then you can start thinking on building a bow with arrows or some projectile weapons so you can go hunting.
Some of these creatures are obvious and somewhat mundane, like elephants, which you'll be hunting for ivory. But then there's creatures that you'll need silver to defeat, and you'll need to go and hunt those in the dark and haunted places of Hyboria.
Building is a very important aspect of survival as well.
Well, actually, I'll be showing another video on building, gets more into the specifics. I did want to point out that the graphics of the game look absolutely amazing. I'm pretty stoked about that. In one of the live streams, and feel free to check out the YouTube for their live streams because they have a lot of good information in there. And you can see a lot of the actual gameplay that's going to happen. However, you just have to keep in mind that this is an early access game and their live streams were even pre-early access, right? So there is some bugs in the live stream, but they have worked them out, and this is a work in progress, obviously. But in one of their live streams, they showed some of the settings that you could get into for graphics and stuff like that, and they had one option that was I've never actually seen before, and the option was it was a checkbox for a low-end PC graphics setting. So I'm not exactly sure what that does to the game, but obviously it's supposed to make it so low-end laptops can run this game. Obviously the game's going to be $30 coming out, so there is a bit of a risk. I don't know how well that option works. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention just in case you think your computer might not be able to run this. But however, just keep in mind it is a risk, right? So let's get back into this.
Having a building in Conan Exiles provides shelter from the environment, keeps you safe from the dangers of the outside, will keep you safe from your enemies in PvP, and of course it provides a place for you to put all your stuff and lock it behind closed doors.
Thralls are another very important tool that we have for survival.
You make thralls, you create thralls. For example, you capture a blacksmith thrall, and he'll give you access to items that can only be crafted by that blacksmith thrall. That allows you, for example, to create Sumerian weapons, even though your character is not a Sumerian. One of the advantages of capturing thralls and breaking their wheel on the Wheel of Pain is that then you can use them to defend your base when you're not around. Your small private army of thralls will be able to keep your stuff protected while you're not there.
Now that bit there, just so it's perfectly clear, you're going to be able to go around the map and basically knock out NPCs or thralls. Tie them up with a rope, drag them back to your base, put them in a wheel of pain to break their will, and then once their will is broken, I think in a live stream they said something like half an hour and their will be broken. But once this happens, you can actually use that NPC and his skills to your advantage. So like they gave the example, if he's a blacksmith, a Sumerian, and you put him at a smithy table or whatever the crafting bench is, then you'll have access to all of his knowledge and be able to craft the weapons that he knows how to craft. So it gives you options that you otherwise wouldn't have. And the whole defend base thing, that's pretty awesome. I know that's probably the worst part about survival PvP games is you only ever get raided offline most of the time. Ark, it was a huge problem. Same with H1Z1, you'd only ever get raided offline. It was very rare for someone to raid you while you were online. So to have something sit there and defend your base. Keep in mind, however, it depends how they have it. I could imagine situations where it'd be very easy to lure them out, and that might be something you have to keep in mind while you're building your base and where you're placing them. But I can imagine situations where it'd be very easy to lure out these thralls and kill them one at a time, so they're in that aspect they'd be very ineffective. But it really depends, what they've done with them and all that. And that's just the defense thing. I know when I played Ark, you could get turrets and such to defend your base. But unless you had it'll probably be the same, but unless you had 100 of them, it was fairly ineffective. Not only could they be tricked, but you could waste their ammo. That's another thing that I'm wanting to see. If you have a thrall protecting your base, do you have to equip that guy with arrows? Does he run out of ammo? But we'll see all that as it comes. But it's still pretty cool that you can get these guys and you can place them wherever you want in your base. So you could in fact have them inside buildings and such ready to defend, which is so cool. And they also give you perks for crafting and stuff like that, so that's pretty awesome.
It is very important that you do prepare for the sandstorm, because it will ultimately kill you.
Two options. You can either find shelter, or you can craft yourself a rebreather mask, which will allow you to survive and explore in the sandstorm. As you explore the dark and dangerous places of Hyboria, it'll also start to drive you insane. You'll start to see things and hear things that aren't there.
But there are ways that you have to get rid of it.
Now what they're talking about here, it's a little bit confusing, but in one of their live streams they really make this straightforward. When you go into caves and stuff, you get something that's called corruption. And what that does is you'll have your main stats, like your health, your stamina, your weight capacity, and all that. If you want to see that, go check out a live stream. But what corruption does is it actually gives you a permanent hindrance to one or more of your stats. So let's say health. It shows it as a circle, but part of that circle will have a segment in it that's purple, and that's the corruption. So whenever you enter these, it'll give you permanent corruption, and then you have to do these solutions to get rid of that.
For example, you can capture and convert thralls that will dance for you, whose main effect is that they help you get rid of your corruption. Religion is another very important aspect of survival, as one of the major drivers for conflict. Avatars are a major dominating force in this world. It takes a very significant investment, and when you summon, you can rest assured they're going to have a huge impact.
When you start Conan Exiles, you'll be scavenging resources from the wasteland, sticks and stones to create your first rudimentary axe. But by the end, you'll be summoning an avatar of a god to smite your foes.
Regarding survival, you better run.
Alright, let's just pause it there for a second. I did want to touch base on this. Obviously, this is either very exciting or very worrisome. Depending on which side of this avatar you're on. Like if you're part of a guild and your guild is the people summoning this avatar, oh man, I couldn't even imagine. That would be so exciting. That'd be so awesome. That'd be thrilling. That'd be amazing. However, if you're not on the summoning side of this guy, if you're on the receiving side of his feet, I could see that being very hard to take. Like you put like weeks if not months into your base, and then all of a sudden this big avatar comes and you know he just starts plowing through it in like seconds or minutes or however long it takes. In one of the live streams, the devs do say that that not only is this an insane amount of resources to actually get this avatar in place, so it is a huge investment, and I think he even said that in this video, but it also, the character that summons the avatar is very vulnerable. The summoner actually takes control of the avatar and walks around as the avatar, so the way you get rid of the avatar is you find the summoner's original body, which is very very exposed, and they mentioned something about everyone on the map will be able to actually see the location of the summoner, so it's not like he's going to be, you know, hidden in a cave and you won't be able to get to him, I'd imagine. So the way to get rid of the avatar is to kill the summoner, and then everything is done and over with. But like I said, depending on which side of this avatar you're on, if you're on the receiving end, it's going to suck, and if you're on the summoning end, oh, that would just be amazing. So and that's very, very late game. And I'd imagine that there's places that you could build your base, like maybe, obviously your base being hidden is the absolute best thing you can do when building a base, just for the simple fact that if nobody can find your base, they can't do anything to it, right? Secondly, there's probably defensive measures you can take to this avatar, not to prevent him from coming in, but there might be like natural stuff that he cannot walk through, like cliffs and stuff like that, that you might be able to utilize to take advantage to defend yourself against something of this size. Let's go ahead with the end of the video. I think it's pretty much at the end, but I'm going to be jumping into more of a crafting video they got up, and we'll go through that, because that's such a huge part of this game for me. I love crafting. I don't mind gathering. I really don't. So at times I actually kind of like gathering. And the harder it is to gather resources to build something amazing, the more prestigious it is, and I'm definitely into that. So let's go ahead. Yeah, okay, so that was the end of the video. So I'm going to hop into the building gameplay kind of video here. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, this might have some repeat clips, but I think for the most part this one is mostly focused on the actual building aspect of the game, which is, like I said, that's so huge for me. That's such a big part of why I like these games.
Conan Exiles is an open-world survival game in which you use the freeform building system to craft yourself a village or city, which you then use as a base to defend yourself. In order to dominate your enemies, you're going to need to create a safe location, a place that you can store weapons, supplies, a place which you decorate and you invite your friends to show off, a place where your clan can gather to discuss their war plans.
Building is a very important aspect of the game because it is the main way to secure your goods.
Conan Exiles has a really nice freeform building system. Basically, we've tried to create a building system which is as flexible as possible. That means that it allows you to build buildings almost anywhere.
One of the cool features that we have is that you can build a house on a mountainside if you want.
Alright, let me just pause right there and let's just soak this in, man. Seeing this, I couldn't imagine anyone not building on a cliffside, man. That looks absolutely amazing. Not to mention the advantages of building as such. You could have, like, I'm already envisioning having like one way up and then just breaking your very bottom foundation, using something super cheap and easy to make as your like stairway to first get up, and just breaking that every time you log out, just to kind of help people not raid your stuff. Because you won't, obviously, just like Rust and just like in Ark and all that, once you place down a foundation, that's going to claim a certain amount of tiles around it. But that also, I don't know, there's some questions that need to be answered that, testing is going to have to be involved. Like if you see a guy building up on a cliff like this, I wonder if you could just, go to a place, Like if you look, there looks like there's some space here, so I wonder if you could just build your way up over here and then, you know, raid the guys. So that's something to keep in mind, and that we're gonna have to test. But like I said, this is such a huge aspect of why I like these games is the building, and being able to build up into the like cliffs and environment like this is just, oh, so good, so good. So let's get back to the video.
In order to craft higher tier items, players will need to create crafting stations. These are things like forges, armor making benches, woodworking benches, tanneries.
We have a huge selection of placeables and decoration. You have tables and shelves and barrels and candles.
You can craft gongs and horns, which you can use to signal the approach of your enemies or to let your friends know to open the gate. You can kill some of the hardest creatures in the game, chop off their head and have that mounted on the wall of your living room.
Some of those decorative pieces are also little toys. Like, for example, you can place an archery target that you can shoot at, and it will give you a score depending on how close to the bullseye your shot was. Thralls are another major component of crafting.
When players start to get into the thrall system, they'll be able to go out into the world and capture artisan thralls. And once you place, for example, a Stygian smith at a Stygian forge, suddenly you have access to Stygian weapons because his knowledge becomes your knowledge.
You can attack other players' structures. Depending on the tier of the structure you're attacking, some weapons are going to be ineffective. You can also craft explosives that you can use that affect all tiers of building. When you plan your base, you should also make sure you have enough space for an altar, and you need altars in order to unlock the religion path.
The avatar is the ultimate expression of your religious fervor in the game.
When facing enemies with ability to summon avatars, it pays off to think on your base layout carefully.
When one of them steps on your city wall, it's going to crumble. They say home is where the heart is, but in Conan Exiles, home is where you keep the hearts of your enemies.
Alright, so yeah, that's pretty badass, man. I'm so excited. And like I said, the purpose of this video is just to let you guys know that I will be playing this game, and if you guys plan to buy it as well, which, like I've stated a few times now, I believe it's $30 through Steam. You know, let me know, man. I'm totally down for playing with other people. That'd be nothing but advantageous. Yeah, just a reminder. Like, I know some of you guys won't follow me into this game, and I know some of you won't even view the videos that I do make on this game or the streams that I go into. But it is going to be taking up most of my time, assumingly, definitely from the very beginning, because I'm excited. I want to get to know the game. I want to, you know, get into it, get progressive, and figure it out and all that. And I know some of you guys won't be, you know, following me through, but that's never been what my YouTube channel has been about. It's never been about views, subs, likes, or comments. It's always been about, you know, me playing and having fun and doing the games that I really want to do. And this is one of those games, so, you know, I'm hoping that I know some people that are going to get in there, and then if not, I might just go in alone. I am going to be doing a lot of streaming of this game. I'm planning on most of my gameplay to be streamed, and then yeah, videos cut from that. So thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you going to be getting into it? Are you not? Let me know, and if you are, we can figure it out and go from there. So yeah, thank you guys very much. I'll be seeing you guys around. You guys remember to be good, and if you can't be good, just don't get caught. Alright, take care, guys. Bye bye.